Hey everyone, this is Satam here from 𝐿𝐴𝐚 Academy. As you know that Pearson has been adding a lot of new questions to their question bank, and one of those key sections that they've been adding questions is actually summarized written text. Now, summarized written text is one of the most important sections of the real test because it carries your scores into reading and writing. Today, I will be demonstrating one of the new questions using our very own 𝐿𝐴𝐚 AI to see how can we get the right content and what should be the right answer over there. And before I delve or before I start discussing the question, I'd just like to remind two very simple things. Remember, summarized written text carries quite a lot of marks to reading and writing, but a lot of students usually forget the word limit. The word limit for summarized written text is just between 5 to 75 words, and please use only one full stop when you're writing your summary. So let's have a look. What are the total number of questions that Pearson has added in summarized written text, and how can we get the right content from there?
All right, everyone. So as I was saying that there are recently added questions in the BTE test for your summarized written text. Let's have a look at first how many questions have been added to the real test very recently. Now, if you look at this, they've added almost like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These are the 8 latest questions that have been added in the test in the AI. Now, if you look at this, not just that, we have the most updated question bank, which has got sample answers for every question, and it also has an explanation of how to solve them. Now, if you look at this, there's about 168 questions that are very frequent in the test, and we have a collection of that. Now, out of these 8 questions, let's have a look. Let's just start with the first one randomly. All right, so I'm just going to pick up this first one. Now, all right, now before you start your summary, I want you to remember 3 basic things. Remember that content is the most important thing when it comes to your summary, because content is what will help you get your reading and your writing score. If your content is 0, there is no further scoring. Second is the word count. You cannot write less than 5 and you cannot write more than 75 words, and you're supposed to use only one single sentence. For your content, focus on 3 simple things. You need to focus on keywords, topic sentences, and one of the most important thing is main idea. Now, for the main idea, all you need to do is just skim and scan the text. Now, by skimming and scanning the text, what we mean is if you move your eyes left to right, top to bottom in the question, just looking for the most repeated words, because that will give you an idea about the passage. Now, if you look at this question talks about, let's do this. So it says like humans, dogs, interact, communicate with people, the canine brain, emotion, person, body, we can say images, animal, photos, humans, emotions, dog shows, art, activity, emotions. And if you go through this, it says dogs, happiness, that's again emotions, reverse edit, finding deficit, symmetrical emotion. Okay, so this is basically that is related to dogs and probably something that has got to do with emotions. So dogs and emotions. So the main idea, I've got a rough picture of the main idea in my mind that it is something to do with dogs and emotions. Okay. Now, if you look at this over here, if you go through this question, let's start reading through it. Now, when you start reading through it, remember that, as I said, like skim and scan, you get the main idea. For the keywords, just look for 2 or 3 repeated words in the passage. The rest of them you will get through your topic sentences. Now, for your topic sentences, remember the topic sentences can be at the introduction, that means over here. They can be in the conclusion, that means in the last 1 or 2 sentences. And one of the easiest ways is if you actually focus on conjunctions. All right. So this one says like, let's start reading through it and let's see what happens. So it says, by living in close contact with humans, dogs have developed specific skills that enable them to interact and communicate effectively with people. Fair enough. As I mentioned, like dogs and emotions. Okay. Recent studies have shown that the canine brain can pick up on emotional cues contained in a person's voice, body, odor, and posture, and read their faces. Okay. In this study, the authors observed what happened when they presented photographs of the same 2 adult faces, a man and a woman, to 26 feeding dogs. The images were placed strategically to the sides of the animal's line of sight, and the photos showed a human's face expressing one of the 6 basic human emotions: anger, fear, happiness, sadness, surprise, disgust, or being neutral. All right, let's just go through the whole thing first, and then we will look at what's important, what's not important. Okay, the dog showed greater response in cardiac activity when shown photographs that expressed arousing emotional states such as anger, fear, and happiness. They also took longer to resume feeding after seeing these images. The dog's increased heart rate indicated that in these cases, they experienced higher levels of stress. In addition, there you go. Dogs turned their heads to the left when they saw humans' faces expressing anger, fear, or happiness. The reverse happened when the faces looked surprised, possibly because dogs view it as non-threatening, relaxed expression. These findings, therefore, that's on the conjunction, support the existence of an asymmetrical emotional modulation of dogs' brains to process basic human emotions. All right. Now, let's understand this, guys. Now, couple of things with summarized written text. The first thing you need to learn and you need to remember is when you're doing a summary, you're supposed to extract only the key points. You're not supposed to extract the explanations. Now, if I was to ask you a question of, let's say, eliminate the sentences that you don't need, or eliminate the sentences that are repeating the information or are exaggerating the information that has been mentioned before. If that's the case, in paragraph 2, we really don't need to talk about the study, like what happened in the study, what did the authors do, how many dogs were there, were they male and female, like the pictures were of male and females, where were they placed, what expressions were shown, because these emotions, like if you read the sentence, human emotions, anger, fear, happiness, this is an example of human emotions. Okay. And if you look at this, if you look at this entire paragraph over here, it talks about that it can pick up on emotional cues. Okay, let's do one thing. I'm just going to pick up certain sentences that I feel could make the right answer. So let's have a look. So I'm going to go with actually the first one, because remember, topic sentences can be found in 3 ways: intro, conclusion, and through conjunctions. So introduction does look like a topic sentence. So I'm just going to write, by living in close contact with humans, dogs have developed specific skills that enable them to interact and communicate effectively with people. All right. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make this dialog box a little bit bigger, and I'm just going to add some information here. From this entire paragraph, the only key idea is the study shows that the canine brain can pick up on emotional cues contained in a person's voice, body odor, and posture, and read their faces, because our expressions are in our faces. So this is what was mentioned over here. I'm just going to write this sentence. So recent studies have shown that canine brain can pick up on emotional cues. Sorry, my bad. Emotional cues contained in a person's voice, body odor, posture, read, faces. Okay. Now I haven't added the full stop. I'm just writing these sentences. All right. Now, one very important thing is make sure to look at your word count. I have only 49 words, so I should still be fine. All right. Now, if you go down to this last paragraph, it is just a continuation of the study. What happened in the study? So when they were looking at different emotions like happiness, anger, surprise, what was the reaction of the dogs? What happened to their cardiac activity? So we don't have to go with the details. What was the end result? What did you get from these? Okay. These findings, therefore, support the existence of an asymmetrical emotional modulation of dogs' brains to process basic human emotions. All right. Now, these are the 3 key topic sentences, and it has all the combination of the keywords that the computer will ideally be looking into it. All right. Now, whenever you do a summary in the real test, you need to ask yourself just 2 very basic questions. Have I covered all the key content? Yes or no? If your answer is yes, the next thing you need to look at is your word count. And lastly, look at the grammar. Now, I will need to combine these sentences. Don't worry about this word order because I've copied it from the passage as it is, and that should not be a mistake. The reason why it is showing it as a mistake is because my laptop is doing my spell check, but in the AI, it will not be doing it. All right. Now, by living in close contact with humans, dogs have developed specific skills that enable them to interact and communicate effectively with people. All right. Now, what I'm going to do is, moreover, just because I'm adding information, I'm adding to positive ideas. So, moreover, recent studies have shown that the canine brain can pick up on emotional cues contained in a person's voice, body odor, posture, read their faces. Okay. And comma, and these findings therefore support the existence of an asymmetrical emotional modulation of dogs' brains to process basic human emotions. All right. Now, what I'm going to do is, if you look at this over here, I have used only two conjunctions here. These are the two conjunctions that I combined it. What is my total word count? 70. Can I copy the same sentences from the passage as it is? Yes, you can. And make sure that there is no typing mistake, there's no spelling mistake. Okay. In the real test, you will not have this option of selecting your convention. Please be mindful of your time. Try to finish your answer in 7 minutes. All right. Now let's see. Okay. As you can see over here, that's a very good score here that I've got. I have approximately 90, which is the best thing that I could have got, the highest possible score. There is no grammatical mistake. My content is fine. I got full 2 marks. My form is correct. I have my grammar absolutely correct. My vocabulary is absolutely correct. Vocabulary wise, I added conjunctions, so it should be fine. And grammatically, it should also be fine because I don't have any mistakes. Now, this is a sample answer that is provided at the bottom for 90, and it is guaranteed that if you write this answer, you can get your 90 marks in your summary. I will be solving a lot of these questions, so stay tuned and we will learn how to do the rest of the questions as well.
So I hope I was able to demonstrate and help you understand how to get the right content in summarized written text and use the correct punctuations and how to identify content as well. Now, as you saw, there's quite a lot of questions that Pearson is adding, and they will continue to add. We will be demonstrating all the new questions in the following weeks, so please stay tuned and keep an eye on the main page. Along with that, if your exam is upcoming and if you're not so sure how to do your summarized written text, book a free trial class with 𝐿𝐶𝐻𝐵 Academy or a one-to-one consultation session, and we'll surely help you understand summarized written text. Alternatively, if you're confident about your summaries but you're just looking to practice these new questions, feel free to text our main page or give us a call on the displayed number and grab a 2-day free trial access to our AI and solve all the questions and get the right way and the right answers and smash the test. So good luck and smash the test.